What's your take on how this ultimately now plays out?
Well, I think the point you made just now, that how a month ago, we had assumed that the whole deal was finished, done and dusted, as they say in London. And we always figured that that was a risk, and the risk was twofold. One, that things actually didn't come to a conclusion as quickly as the markets expected, and that turns out to be what's transpired. But there was also the risk that you did get a deal, and it wasn't quite good enough for the markets to continue to rise afterwards. And a lot of that would have focused on whether or not you actually did see the tariffs that have been put in place on both sides reduce, which is actually the issue that the Chinese are on about as well. They want to see the tariffs that Trump's already put in place removed as well. So all that uncertainty, given how much the markets had rallied, it seemed almost inevitable to us that you would have a setback. I think, like everyone else, it is clearly a wait and see, because the challenge is it's not simply at all an economic consideration for the Chinese. I think it's quite clear they're going to suffer more. Even again, we know everyone suffers, but the Chinese certainly more vulnerable to the tariffs in terms of the economic impact on their economy. But it's the political considerations, saving face and all of that, that makes it much more difficult to predict what the reaction of the Chinese is going to be, even if I think we probably can guess a little bit better how Trump could react.
We got to put everything in context. I get last week was the worst week of the year so far for stocks, but the U.S. stock market, as you know, has done very well so far in 2019, one of the best starts to a year ever. How much does the strong start to the year play into what we have seen the last couple of trading days? This market has the ability to come down a bit, I would imagine.
Well, I think you can see that as well if you look at how different parts of the market reacted last week. If you look at, say, the performance of growth versus value last week, some of the factor performance, they were all kind of the same. There was a little differentiation, so it seemed somewhat indiscriminate, which suggests to me that it's, as you're saying, perhaps just a bit of profit taking after what had been, really fantastic for 4.5 months into 2019. You have this opportunity to maybe take a bit of profit on that, think about where you're going to allocate, and kind of everything seemed to go. So that's what suggests to us that if we get a little bit of stabilization, people are going to reallocate, perhaps in other sectors or other parts of the market. But it doesn't seem to be a full-scale rejection of the opportunities in equities for us at all.